them next year. I hope you enjoy them. Then we're going to have some more entertainment. Please, the floor is yours, Pare.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ferdinand Torado. I am the instructor of ptk-smf Peninsula. We represent the Pekiti-Tirsia Global Organization under Team Wade here in the San Francisco Bay. I guess I want to say happy anniversary to Eskabo Daan.
Yeah.
6 years? Right, 6 years here, so very awesome. Thank you for inviting us and giving us this opportunity to present our system to you. So, for those who are not familiar with how many of you are familiar with Pekiti-Tirsia? A few. Yeah.
Of course.
So really quick, Pekiti-Tirsia Kali is the family combat system of the Nortal clan from Panay Island. The current headmaster is Grand Juan Leo Picahe. Originally, he was not going to teach this to anyone outside the family, but in the 70s, he decided to bring it out into the world and introduce the art to everyone. And a lot of notable martial artists have trained with him. One of them being Guru Dino Santo. A few of the Dog Brothers, Bill McGrath, Tom Vizio. Just a bunch of other names I can't remember, but 1980s, 90s, our instructor, Team Wade, United States Marine Corps, decided to start training in the system. And because of his military background and involvement in the, propagating the art, he basically introduced the art to the Marines in the Philippines. If you guys are not aware, the Filipino Marines use Pekiti-Tirsia as their close quarter combat system. In 1987, it became like the I guess the military war fighting doctrine in the Philippines. So now everybody, all the military branches use it now. The Scouts, Marines, obviously, Army, and the Filipino National Police. Okay, so you want to talk about a system that's combat proven. It's being used by those men and women So, like I said, our teacher is Team Wade, and I guess we're just gonna show you a little bit about what we do. Okay. The system is it's a triangle system, and it's based on edge weapons. Now, it doesn't mean that we only use edge weapons. We also use impact weapons. But what sets us, I guess, a little different is that regardless what weapon we have in our hand, we use the same exact mechanics. You guys know that a lot of FMAs are either largo, mono, close quarter, right, infighting, whatever, right? Rentuan describes Pekiti-Tirsia as a close quarter infighting system as well, but really, it's like, okay, whatever, big whoop, what makes it so different? What makes us a little bit different is the system is really specialized on bridging, walking in a straight line and try to duke it out with anyone, because I don't really want to be running into this, right? So there's a lot of using of angulation, a lot of the footwork is geared towards putting you offline of your opponent. So in the beginning, just like anything, you're gonna start from your ABCs, right? So we have our abecedario. So we're gonna show a little bit of our abecedario right now. My students, Buddy and Joe. So we're gonna show you our abecedario really quick. Okay, it's a 12 attack system. Okay, it starts with number 1, tempo, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, targeting system to get you familiar to what you're actually going to hit. So if I was practicing with a partner, obviously you start face to face. You map out different areas you're going to hit. Temple, temple, elbow, elbow, groin, up, collarbone to toe, your knees, solar plexus, the heart, clear, top of the head, down to the toe, eyes and groin. Okay. Now you can also walk around the target and map out other areas. So, for instance, if I'm to the side, same thing. Now with the same 12 angles, I can see what else I can hit. You can do a lot with, with the form by itself. Now, there's the system that we train in is called the 12 method system. There are 12 principles that addresses every manner that you can attack with this weapon. Or, could be a stick, could be a knife. The masters that created the system are fully aware that combat is chaotic, right? But you cannot teach it like that in the beginning. You have to have a structure. So that's why we have all these individual forms, right? Finally, you validate it. You do that by sparring, right? So I'm gonna jump a little bit ahead to what we call a 5 attack system. Okay, like I said, there are 12 principles. We have Dario, the four wall, the payong system, Dapo Bipunyo, and then number 5 is what we call 5 attacks and break and break out. Okay, so I'm sure a bit of 5 attacks. We're gonna switch to 6 so we can actually hit weapons. As I said, the Pekiti-Tirsia system is a bridging system, right? Now, what does that mean? That means when you're fighting someone, you don't really typically stay in one range all the time, right? If I want to get close to him and attack him, I have to have a method for getting in there, doing my damage, and then getting out without getting killed. Right? So, in 5 attacks, we teach people to employ what we call fluid, broken energy strikes. Okay? And you notice that the strikes are diagonal because when I execute this, we don't really just swing, kind of haphazardly, right? Because we know that he's going to be attacking as well. So if our strikes are a little flat, he's gonna try to hit me full power with that. He doesn't care whether I'm coming close or not. He just wants to hit me. So to protect myself simultaneously as I'm attacking him, I have to make sure that I have protection when I strike. So when I strike at my opponent, you notice that I move forward with my strike. I don't stay out here and then somehow try to, inch my way in, right? I hit my attack, and then whatever follow-up I choose to add after that, I can actually hit, right? So. One of the ways we train this particular method is in partner drills. Okay. 1, 2. As you see, they're not make contact so that students can get a sense of the beats and the distance, right? We typically start just like everybody else. We start up close and then we range everything out, right? So you'll see a little bit of that. So right now, we're doing a distance here with contact. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's no footwork yet, right? Now we're gonna add a little footwork. It's not very tactical, but it's just to get you to simultaneously learn how to strike and move your feet. So all we're gonna do is just walk around each other. So it's kind of like a dance almost. And unfortunately, we don't have a lot of room. Otherwise, I can show you the actual, dynamic bridging. But we'll start usually like this. Later on, once you've kind of gotten a sense of what timing feels like in rhythm, we range it out a little bit. There's no contact. And then one of you is going to decide when and how you're going to make contact. Are you going to initiate? Slowly start to ramp it up. Now, besides contact, we also have something called entrada. What Contradas is basically, we know that weapons can either meet the force or follow the force. Beginning, if you have nothing else, you'll at least get that, right? You have very basic knowledge of the footwork, basic knowledge of the energy of strikes and how it's delivered, and then as you continue training, you get introduced to the other principles. Now you learn it individually, and then later on you combine them to make a whole other drill or a whole other flow, right? There's I guess FMA is not generally known for forms or katas, right? Although a lot of systems use it, and Pekiti-Tirsia is no different. But our forms are really short, as you can see. Abecedaria is only 12 movements. Our first counter-offense system, the four-wall, is just 10 movements, right? It's nothing fancy. Again, it's meant to teach you how to get out of the way and also set yourself up to be able to launch into a counter-offense, right? And notice I use the word counter-offense. There's no real, we don't use the word defense a whole lot, and we don't use the word block, because you can't really block anything with this type of weapon or your sword, right? I mean, it's pretty short. Okay? If I'm trying to block somebody who's attacking me, I'm literally bracing for impact, right? But again, depending on how well trained or conditioned you are, you're either going to be able to successfully defend against that, or you're going to eat it. Right? So rather than gamble, we actually employ what we call counteroffensive maneuvering, meaning a lot of footwork. Right? And you hear that a lot in FMA, but it's really, really an essential skill in Pekiti-Tirsia, because if you do not know how to order and move, then you're not effectively using the system, right? What it's teaching you. So if I'm dealing with an opponent and he's striking at me, I'm not going to stay here and block that. I'm not going to stay here and try to block that. If I have proper training, I will know that if I see somebody try to execute a forehand strike, I would actually attack that strike. I'm not going to make contact with his weapon, but rather I'm going to cut his hand and follow through on that. Okay, and depending where I end up after that, you know, I can come back here, or I can just take his hand. Right? There's not a lot of here and then kind of happen, whatever, because again, yeah, you hitting somebody full force, you know, he's probably going to be on the ground or he's running away. You're going to have to chase him to take his head off, right? Maybe after you take his head off, you're taking the edge weapon mechanic, the orientation. Okay? Now we want to show, again, we're going to jump around and show you there's something we call Dako Pipunyo. Okay? Dako Pipunyo is one of the early, I guess, counter for counter drill that the students do. Again, it introduces you to a lot of different strikes like cross, using the punyo, and hacking the, you know, your opponent's hand away if they happen to get a grab your hand, right? So now let's do the form first. So the basic form looks like this. Dako Pipunyo. Face that way. Both of you do the Dako. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And now, it's also a partner drill. So basically, you just saw two halves. One is doing the offense, the other one's doing counter. And then we go back and forth. So one will initiate with thrust, the other final drill. One guy attacks with a thrust, and then he would quickly sidestep to get out of the way because he knows